Mark Atherton with us from Crestwood and the boys basketball program. Mark, another year, another solid team you're hoping for here in Mountaintop. Let's talk about what you think you have here in 2018-19.
Well, we're real excited about the team. Last year, as a matter of fact, the last 2 years, we got to the district semis. We lost in triple overtime 2 years ago to West Scranton, and last year at the buzzer to Dallas by 2 points. So this year we have 4 returning starters. We're really excited about how far they've come. And we think we have a good shot for the league. Hazleton obviously is very good, and some other teams, but we think we have a good shot there. And we know Abington's always the mountain to climb in the district. So, but we're hoping that we get an opportunity to get to the arena this year.
Let's talk about size-wise. Where you top off at, and then coming down a little bit.
You know, we could go a couple different ways. We could go small, where we have maybe our big guys maybe 6'1", and then we could go a little bit bigger with some of our guys where we get up to 6'3", maybe even 6'4". So we go a couple different ways, you know, depending on the way the game's going. So it'll be kind of exciting to see which way we go depending on our opponent.
Let's talk basketball-wise. You know, teams get guys that you know, only play basketball, some schools, and then you get other teams that multiple sport guys. So what do you have at Crestwood this year?
We have a nice mix. We have our point guard Murphy is a 3-sport athlete, and a very good 3-sport athlete. A type of kid everybody needs to share. Cam Boris is a kid who only plays basketball. Mike Palmero plays fall baseball, spring baseball, and plays basketball whenever he's not playing baseball also. So we have a bunch of those guys. I love the mix. I love the athletes because they all bring a little something special to the table.
Let's talk about the coaching-wise. You look young, but you have a lot of experience behind you. Has much changed as far as your philosophy? You still hold on to a lot of things your dad taught you and different things like some old veteran coaches in the conference?
Well, it's funny because the other day I was watching a Michigan State game, and Michigan State was playing a team that was fast-paced and everything, and the team was firing up. It was Texas, and they were firing up quick shots. They were down 5 points. Izzo, who's an older coach, came down, and he was running cutters and doing stuff and getting layups. And even the announcer said, there's a different philosophy. So I still have the older principles. I still think you got to get the ball to the rim. I do like shooting threes, but I think you need to be able to control tempo, whatever that is, fast pace, slow, whatever it is, and that depends on the team we play. So I still have my core values, which are some old school values, but I do try to keep with the revolution of the times.
And of course, different coaches, different relationships, and different matchups. That's always fun to see. Go head to head with some of those, and you know, you'll get some older guys in the community that'll say, oh, you know, I'd like to see Atherton and Joseph when they go at it, but it's really always about the kids. But there are unique styles in coaching when you guys do go against other teams.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it, and everybody has their beliefs, their core beliefs. Ultimately, it's who could really adjust on the fly and who can make some moves to change. We think we do a pretty good job of that. But it's always fun when you play Hazleton and you have a packed house at Crestwood, and whenever you play a Nanaco team who's very good in the crossover games. So it's always very exciting. We love those big games. We love those big moments. And ultimately, you're right. It's all about the kids. And in the end, as long as they play their best and play their hardest, you hope for the outcome. It doesn't always happen that way. But ultimately, it's about the kids.
How much can you coach them up? You know, you feel like, okay, this is my team in the beginning of the year. If we work on these 1, 2, 3 things, we could get to this place. And every year, I'm sure it's a challenge, but you know, do you kind of have that in your heart to say, listen, if we could do this, we could go in a good direction here?
Yeah, we have our core that we want to be good at. And then after that, we expand according to our talents of our kids. So if we feel we have a kid who has maybe really drives well, but ultimately his shot is a little weak, well, we try to hide some weaknesses during the season and ultimately play to our strengths. And again, that's part of coaching. Can you get the kids to believe that they're very good players when maybe they're a good player? Can you get them to be a little bit better and have a little bit more belief? And can you hide some of their weaknesses so they're not exposed to the opponent?
Well, not many weaknesses usually with a Crestwood boys basketball team. Mark Atherton, keep up the good work. We look forward to a positive season.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it.
Cam Boris joining us here on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire Service. And Cam, it's your senior year at Crestwood. What do you like about this year's team?
We have a lot of experience. You know, last year we had 1 returning starter, so this year we have, you know, a lot of guys that can do a lot of things on the court. We have a lot of depth. I like our team a lot. We got a lot of experience this year.
Let's talk about the height-wise. What kind of presence do you guys have down low?
We have, some couple guys that are, we go big sometimes, but we feel we do best with our small lineup. So one thing I try to focus on with our small lineup is rebounding, because I'm one of the biggest guys in that small ball lineup. So that's what.
You have a sister, Sheridan, who's 16. Tell us about what she's up to.
She used to do track. She's a good artist. She's she comes to all my games. Really supports me. Nice.
And you're a pretty good student, I'm sure, much like your sister. A 3.7 grade point average, math and science, a couple of your favorite subjects. Is it the subject area you like? You have a favorite teacher there at Crestwood?
Both. I love math ever since I was in elementary. Science, same. My teachers throughout elementary and high school were great.
All right, let's life after high school. It's your senior year, college. So what are you thinking of doing, and where are you thinking of going?
I recently got accepted to Wilkes and Kings, so I'm either staying local with them. If not, I'm waiting to get back. Waiting on Pitt to get back to me. So we'll see what happens.
So good options there. Yeah. Let's talk about your relationship with your parents and your grandparents, and looking up to them as role models.
Yeah. Ever since I started playing basketball, which was for as long as I can remember. Parents drove me to every game, always at every game. Same with my grandparents. Get a text from both my grandfather and grandmother every game. They're always there supporting me.
Awesome. And how about your relationship with Coach Atherton? Talk about what kind of leader he is as a coach.
He's a great leader. Ever since I've been playing my sophomore year, he focuses on every little detail possible, so we can become the best we could possibly be. I know him on a personal level. My uncle, I was good friends with him in high school, same with my family. So he's the best coach I ever had. Nothing more I could ask for.
All right, Cam, well, we hope you have a great season and enjoy the holidays with your family as well.
Thank you for having me.
Sean Murphy with us here on the John Mendola Show at McCarthy Tire Service. Sean, senior year here at Crestwood, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking for a great basketball season. I think we have the potential to go pretty far, and we have a really good team for it.
3-sport athletes, soccer and lacrosse, and I know Coach said, hey, we all have to have this kid on our team. That's important. Talk about how important basketball is to you.
It's my favorite sport, and Coach Atherton's the one that pushes me all the way through, and he's the best coach out there, and it's just a great experience.
Talk about your role on the team, kind of leading the ship here.
I'm the point guard, and I think I'm a pretty good defender, and I help people get pumped up, because I get pumped up very easily, and it just helps the team get excited and play harder.
Let's talk about your siblings. You have Connor and Morgan. What are both of those up to?
My brother's currently going to med school. He's looking to be a doctor, and my sister, she's in college, sophomore year, and she's going for nursing.
Very cool. In school, walking the halls around Crestwood, a lot of athletes at Crestwood, so I'm sure you guys all support each other. What's it like when you're out there on the floor and you get the cheering section from Crestwood? You get some pretty good support?
We do. I think we have a really good student section, because our kids get into the other team's heads, and it rattles them a little bit, and I think it just makes them nervous, and we appreciate it.
Next step for you will be college. You're thinking about business. Number one, are sports going to be a part of that? And then number two, what kind of school are you looking at?
I'm gonna try to play basketball, at Kings local, because they have a good business program too, and I'm hoping to play there.
Very nice. Let's talk about some role models in your life. Who do you look up to?
My father, because he always pushes me to play basketball and all these sports, because he was an athlete himself, and he just helps me train and everything, and it's just a great help.
As far as the outlook for this Crestwood team this year, how good could you guys be?
I think we can have a very good run this year.
All right, Sean, we'll go get them. Thanks for the tips here about your team, and we wish you the best over the holidays.
Thank you. You too.
Michael Palmero joined us here on the John Mendola Show, senior season at Crestwood. Michael, a nice night for you last night, scoring the basketball, but there's other guys that could step up and score as well. Talk about being able to put the ball in the hole, but knowing that you have some teammates that could back you up when you need to as well.
It's just nice to know that I have teammates to back me up. So if I'm having my moments that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, it's always nice to know that I can count on them too.
Let's talk about the intensity on the court from this group of players at Crestwood. You feel like everybody shows up ready to play every game?
Oh yes, every day. We're always engaged, always fired up in the locker rooms, listening to music, getting hyped up. It's really nice.
You also are a baseball player. What
Yeah.
position do you play, and how into baseball are you?
Right now it's basketball season, so I'm not really into baseball, but when baseball season does come, it's all baseball. Third base I usually play, but this year probably shortstop and looking to pitch too.
Big family, so take us through all the siblings in the family.
Declan, he just turned 15 today. He does play basketball for the 9th grade team. Madeline, she's 17. She's currently in her off season for field hockey. And Dominic, who's my half brother, 25. I don't see him much. He lives in Virginia, but when I do, I try and do as much as I can with him.
Cool. And science, one of your favorite subjects, a 4.0. So you're
Yeah.
killing it in the classroom. Talk about the next step for you. What are you thinking of doing?
I'm looking to go to college 4 years and be a teacher in science, so secondary education mostly.
All right. And as far as the college track, so it's great you want to go in the education track. Do you have an idea on some schools that you're interested in right now?
I've been accepted to the 3 that I actually do want to go to, Clarion, Susquehanna, and Juniata. All that matters is the decision.
Very good. Well, that sounds like a great list. Let's talk about your folks and the relationship you have with them.
My parents, my mom, who's my biggest fan, my dad, who's my biggest critic. After every game, my mom always tells me good job, and then my dad, even if I had a good game, he always points out the mistakes I made, which really helps me. At practice, I always work on those.
Sounds like you got a great balance there with the folks,
Yeah.
and you know what's what. Michael, we wish you the best this year. Have a great
you.
season.
Thank you.
Frankie Casarella here on the John Mendola Show as we're talking Crestwood boys basketball. It's your senior year. Let's talk about your role. What's Coach expect out of you?
He wants me to really be the energy guy for the team. I'm not really a scorer per se, because we have 3 or 4 guys that can score in multiple ways. He said he wants me to rebound, defend, pass the ball well, just basically be that energy guy and keep everyone on their toes.
Let's talk about the team this year overall. What do you like about this team this year?
A very wide variety of skill sets. Like I said, we have multiple guys that can score in basically every way. We have good shooters. We're disciplined defensively. We like to push the ball. We're a fast-paced team. One thing is we're quiet. We need to work on our communication, but once we get that, we should be tough to beat.
How about Coach Atherton? Talk about his ability to push you guys in practice, bring out your best. There's some intensity there, I'm sure, in practice at times.
Of course. Yeah, he's the best coach to do it. Like you said, he gets the best. He makes us what our team is today. A lot of people, we're undersized, but he pushes us to the max every day in practice. We work hard and we get after each other, and competition brings out the best, and that's why I believe we're going to be successful this year.
Tell us a little bit about your sibling, Santino.
My brother, he's currently in 8th grade at Crestwood, and he's a wrestler.
Pretty cool. So a wrestler and a basketball in the family.
Yeah.
You're a math kind of guy in the school, 20th in your class, a 4.2 grade point average, so off the charts there. Talk a little bit about your dedication as a student.
I've always just been interested in learning new things, basically any subject. Math is my favorite. I love numbers, but just learning new stuff. I feel like knowledge is key to almost everything in life, and I've just always pushed myself on and off the court.
You'd like to go away to college? Do you have an idea where? Or?
Right now it's between Pittsburgh and Villanova University.
Okay, those are 2 great choices. Your parents and your grandparents, talk about them as role models.
My dad, he's taught me everything I know about sports. That's what we really bond over. Everything I know about sports is because of him. And my mom, as you know, she's a teacher, so she's always there to help me with my schoolwork ever since I was little. And my grandparents, they're just always there if I need someone to talk to, and they've taught me so many life lessons so far, and they're just great people.
Always good to have that extra set of eyes and a lot of love out of the grandparents as well. Frankie, it sounds like you have a bright future ahead of you. We wish you the best at the next level.
Thank you.
Adam Gagaris here on the John Mendola Show as we talk about the Crestwood boys basketball program. Adam, let's talk a little bit about your role on the team this year.
I think I'm being asked to rebound, box out hard, being outsized. I'm really playing all over the court, from the 3 to the 5 spot, and just boxing out is what's being emphasized on me the most. We were small on big guys this year, some young guys there, and really just play better defense than what was expected out of Crestwood.
We talked a little bit about what the strengths were for some of the other guys. How about for you? What are some things that you think? I know you just mentioned it. You said we need to play better defense, but win tight games, coming up with big energy and big games. What are some differences you think will be in the league when you play a team like a Hazleton or a Nanticoke this year? The difference to try to be on the right side of the scoreboard with those guys.
Well, the little things the most is what Coach Atherton talks about too, like free throws, defense, getting stops, all of that. Like that's what it comes down to when you think about it. All the little things. Like if you do everything else right, that's what it comes down to at the end of it all.
Let's talk a little bit about football, playing that. How much were you into football?
I'm big into football. I like that sport a lot, watching it. Fantasy football, all of that. All the boys. It's real fun.
You have an older brother, Kyle, who's a soccer player. Talk about what he's up to.
He just came back from playing soccer in Brazil. Now he's back in the States. He's going to college, working.
That's good for him. That must have been a pretty interesting experience. Chemistry, one of the subjects that you like at school, just something you feel you're good at?
Oh, yeah. Mostly because of my teachers. It was a tough subject, but they helped me get through it.
Joining the Air Force, the next step for you. Talk about why you decided to do that.
I just like the thought of serving my country the most. All the benefits you get from it. My dad really stressed it on me too, made it a good option for me.
Well, congratulations on that. Let's talk about your dad and your grandparents and why they're role models in your life.
Oh, most of my dad, he's been a role model my whole life, showing me how to being my coach on all different sports from when I was like earliest, like 8 years old, playing basketball, my AAU teams, all of that, just bringing me up. My grandparents, they're always there. They're always showing love whenever you need it, making me food, all the little things, being at all my games and all that kind of stuff.
Hazleton area, big rivalry, you guys. What do you look forward to when you play them, whether it's home or away? That's usually a raucous crowd either way, right?
Oh yeah, that's the best part of it, all the atmosphere. All your friends get to come out that you see they don't play the sport with you, they still get to come out, support you. It's always a great atmosphere in those kind of games.
Well, and we hope you have a great holiday with your family, and good luck in 2018-19.
Thank you.